Hello everyone, how you doing and welcome to another The War Within Magetower video. So, as mentioned in a video last night, Blizzard did not fix the Magetower scaling still, so we don't have much option to just like gear up accordingly to make up for the scaling issues. People complained that my voice is not loud enough in the videos. I made some adjustments for this video. Please let me know in the comments whether it's fixed or not, so I can fix it accordingly. Because I thought my voice was totally fine in the other videos, but apparently it's not. Alrighty, we're gonna get to it. So first of all, why would we even gear our characters for Mage Tower? It's supposed to be a matter of skill, not a matter of gear. Well, Blizzard is once again stupid, and what they did once the War Within pre-patch launched, Blizzard made some rescaling to time walking. Our item level used to be scaled down to 120 in Mage Tower, which was totally fine. You could do the Mage Tower like before the War Within pre-patch. You could finish Mage Tower with whatever gear. I had made guides for all 36 specs where you could do them with just any items on your character with the proper consumables. And I had posted guides and I helped thousands of people get their achievements during that time period. But after the War Within pre-patch launched, what Blizzard did, they scaled the boss fights to as if your character is item level 200, but we remained item level 120. So there was this 80 item level difference between your character and the boss fight. Therefore, the boss fight was extremely hard. So if you went in with normal gear, without any time walking gear, you would not be able to do it at all. Like, the fights became impossible. Your damage was not enough. The bosses were one-shotting you. Like, it was just impossible. Maybe like 3 of the 36 specs were possible without gearing up accordingly. So what I have been doing lately, I have been showing people how to gear up, and this is what this video is about. We are going to talk about what items to use on all of your characters, how to gear up, so you can beat all of the challenges. Alrighty, we're going to get to it. We're going to see a difference here. My character is item level 620 outside, so it's not insanely good gear, but decent gear. This is my ult, this is not my main. My main is like 10 levels higher, but that's not what we're going to talk about. So we're going to look at the stats my character has with full War Within gears. So it has an intellect of 546, 19%, 6%, 18%, and 1% are the secondary stats. This is the War Within gear. I am gonna switch to my best in slot Mage Tower gear now, and we're gonna compare the stats now. So we're gonna take a picture of this so I can have it for comparison. And then, alright. So, we're gonna go on and equip the best in slot gear. These are the following items. I have to compare this quickly. 615. 6 plus 15 is 21. 24 plus 23 is 47. 1 plus 10 is 11. So this is actually better because it has 2 sockets. How much secondary? Oh, this gives 10 intellect. This is better then. Alright. So this is the gear we are gonna be using. 6, 6. The other wrist is better as well. Belt, staff, shoulder. What else? What else? What else? Trinket, trinket. The 2 rings, the wrist. Did we miss anything? 1 ring is missing. Oh yeah. So, intellect-wise, this gear did not do much because I am using all mastery sockets. The intellect difference is like 50, but our secondary stats difference are quite a lot. So we have an extra 16% mastery, half a percent versatility, we have 3% more haste, and we have like 4% less crit. But we don't really care about crit because I socketed full mastery gems here. You can see like the stat wise, the gear will make a change. No, I'm not gonna say it's not gonna have a huge impact, but now let us apply the proper consumables. These consumables are always listed in the description, and I mention them at the beginning of every video, so you can use them. For intellect users, it's gonna be the Greater Flask of Endless Fathoms. If you are not an intellect user, just type the first 3 words of this flask, Greater Flask of. Like for agility and strength, it's from the same exact expansion, which is BFA. These are the best consumables you can use. Almost all of the top consumables are from BFA, except for probably what's it called? Except for probably the potion. The potion is from Legion. So we're gonna use the consumables I always talk about. We're gonna use the flask. We almost got. What's the difference? 62. 72. What? Alright, for some reason this flask is giving me 69, but we're getting 72 extra intellect out of it, which is alright, fine. That's a decent 10-15% damage increase. And then we're gonna apply our food, which is Borealis Blood Sausage. I'm not even sure this character has any of it. Borealis. Don't think so, Borealis. Nope. We do not have any Borealis Blood Sausage, which is the best food buff. Borealis Blood Sausage gives you another 40 to 50 intellect. And then we have the Augment Rune, which is gonna give us another 11 intellect, which in this case is giving us 12 as well. No idea what the tooltip does not always match the actual thing. And then we have the food buff, we have the Howling Rune. Where is the Howling Rune? There it is. The Howling Rune is giving us some decent haste as well. I cannot look at the exact number, or can we? Alright, 234. It gives us around roughly 40 haste we can use, which is really decent. And the other ones are either this one, Superior Battle Potion of Intellect, or Potion of Unbridled Fury. If you play your character well, and you know when your burst window is, I suggest using the Superior Battle Potions of Intellect, Agility, or Strength. These are the best potions for an insanely good burst. So you have like 674 intellect right now. With this, you're gonna have 800, like roughly 900 intellect for the opener or for the burst, which is insane. If you put this together with like the Radiance Trinket and maybe like the first Sigil, this is gonna blast. You're gonna have an insanely like high damage opener. And if you have a good opener with proper gear, the challenge is almost done. You get like 50% of the challenge done. That's how you should play it. That's why we suggest gearing, because it makes it easier than it needs to be. Alright, now we're gonna get to the neck piece. This is the neck piece I suggest on every single character. The pendant of impending perils. This is from Dragonflight, and the only reason I suggest this is because you can add 3 sockets onto it. Quick side note, this has to be the 310 or 319 version of the neck. You can add 3 sockets into this neck because it is a Dragonflight item, and you can enchant it with an old enchant, Mark of the Claw. It also gives you like 50 mana stat if it procs, which is huge. But like this neck is the OPest necklace there is out there. There is not a single necklace that comes close to this when it comes to Magetower. Find this neck. If you don't have it on your realm, it's easy. Like I bought these for like 300 gold. There is this specific website you can look for this item. If you cannot find any on your realm, you could look for it in other realms. There is this specific website we got called Undermine Exchange. I am gonna open it 1 second. There we go. Undermine Exchange. It's the undermine.exchange. No .com or anything. It's just undermine.exchange. We had the necklace of impending peril. Alright. Here you can see all of the versions of this necklace. We want the version that is below the item level of 320. So you can see there are multiple options. 15, 309, 308, 316. This is not what we want. 280. This is also not what we want. 94. It has to be above 120 and below 320. So this is the window we wanted. So if you click on any of these, let's say like 319, you click on this and you can see, okay, down here, quantity, click it twice and you can see each realm where you can find this. There is like thousands of this on auction, almost on every single realm. So you just log in there, put some gold in your warband, pick it up with the other character, buy it, put the necklace in the warband, log in on your main, take it out. As easy as that. So if you want to do all 36 challenges, you have to buy this neck a total of 12 times. And this neck is insane. It has 3 sockets, and it is the only item in your gear that's gonna have 3 sockets, probably. So you're just gonna socket it with the eye gems. The thing with the eye gems is you get a decent 70 intellect out of these, which is massive. And this is like how you can always find them. If the loading finishes, I can show you guys. Alright, you're gonna open the AH. Let's say you're an agility user. You click on agility, gems, agility, and type in the word eye. And you get these 3 unique gems you're gonna put into your neck. The same thing works for strength, and the same thing works for intellect. This is the necklace you want on all of your characters, if you are into Magetower. Like alone, this necklace, it's a decent 10% damage increase. I'm telling you, 10%, at least 10%. Alright, we're gonna get to the rings. So currently, the strongest rings are the Warwithin rings, but they're gonna cost you. The fact for that is that, like, the reason behind that, let's choose a random ring from the Warwithin. Of course, not these ones. You can see there are rings for like 1,000 gold. The only reason, like, these are the strongest ones, because there is a new item in the Warwithin called the Jeweler Setting something. You can add up to 2 sockets to every ring, like a maximum of 2. And since gems are currently so strong, you could add like plus 23 secondary gems for Magetower. They are really strong, like 2 23 stat gems, plus the Warwithin enchants, which are currently scaled very well, are gonna do some real good damage. So I'm gonna like test this. We're gonna test this. I'm gonna experience this for you guys. Unique equip, so I have to get another one. Spinners. All right. Any socketed ones? You can also look for socketed ones, so you minimize your cost. All right. And then there is this setting, which is quite pricey, like 4.5K. That's what I mean. Like, if you don't have, this is the setting for the necklace from Dragonfly, by the way, the blue one, and the Epic One Magnificent Jeweler setting is for the War Within. We're gonna buy two of these, plus also the enchantments from the War Within are supposed to be scaling really good as well. I don't know why, but we're gonna just check them out. I'm just gonna buy two haste ones. Am I? Yeah, we're gonna just buy two haste ones and see how they work. All right, there we go. Mailbox, and then we're gonna have to get rid of some items because we don't have enough backspace. Boom, boom, and boom. All right. Let's check it out. Um, what happened? There we go. All right. So our current stat weights are 13, 10, and 32. So we're gonna apply inventory is full. Okay, so you can't enchant items with the full inventory. Like, please, Blizzard, what is this? Why? I'm gonna see how much of a difference one ring makes. All right, so like stat wise, without taking these are not better though than enchants. Maybe it's the cursed ones, the expensive ones. So stat wise, if we ignore the enchants now, this one is giving 21 verse and 8 mastery, a total of 29 secondary stats. We go on this one's 20 mastery and 8 haste. So we are missing one secondary stat. But on the other side, if you put the same enchant on it, you get the one full socket, which is 23 secondary stats more, which is insane. So if you got the gold to spend on these rings, this is the play. If not, get a one socket ring, preferably from Shadowlands, with these specific effects on it. Some rings from Shadowlands have these. You could add like these items onto them to give them some specific effect. There is some orb that spawns around you when you're fighting, and you soak it and you get some stats. It's nothing huge, but a small thing to have. Better to have it than not. So yeah. But if you got the gold and you want to spend it, this is probably the best way to go. You get two rings from the War Within, you socket them with the settings, add the plus 23 gems onto them, and you're blasting. Because that's like 50 secondary stat difference, quite huge. When your total stat is like 300, 50 is like a decent, what, 1/6 increase, which is insane. Just not bad to have. And that's it for the rings. The next part, we're gonna talk about the weapons. I have announced in the videos before that this caster stuff is insane. Like, it's bugged and is like, ignore the tooltip. It says it gives you 69 haste. It gives you much more haste than you think. It's like 2k haste you get. And like this stuff for casters is probably the best weapon we have ever had. If they ever fix this, you're gonna want to go for probably the three socketed staffs from Burning Crusade. But for now, this is insanity. Like this, you're not gonna get a better item anywhere. There are similar items for strength users as well. We have the Singing Crystal Axe for the strength users. It's a two-handed weapon, which is insanely good. I'm gonna show you guys. but it's costly. Like this staff will cost you like 2 to 3 thousand maybe to craft. It's a crafting order staff. I have made a video on how to get that, like how to craft it. I'll link it in the description. But the singing crystal axe does cost a bit. So you see, there is one here for like 770k. Not everyone wants to spend this for Magetower, which is understandable. But this weapon has a specific effect. As you can see, chance on hit increases your haste by 261. And this effect is so OP, like the uptime is like 80% of the fight. It's gonna be up for almost the whole combat, which is an insane buff. It almost doubles your haste, which is quite good. But if not, it's probably best to go with some TBC raid weapon or just buy one from the edge. But let's see, there are like some 3-socketed weapons, if I'm not mistaken. 200, where is the 200 one? Yeah, look at this. 3 sockets, item level 160, you can enchant it. 3 sockets, you can add 3 plus 23 gems onto it. So like, these items are all really OP. These are insane items. Like, I wasn't aware of this till a few days ago, but apparently the Sunwall gear is quite decent. Okay, like, if you don't want to spend gold, farming these is probably the best thing you can do. Oh, the bow does not have any sockets. That's bad. That's really bad. So we have to look for some socketed bow probably. I am working on a sheet for all of these gears, so do not worry. If these guns do not have sockets, we probably just go with the AH ones then. Just want to find the socketed bow from AH and go with that. That's it for the weapons. Oh, by the way, before I forget, if you want to play some one-handed agility users like Monk, Rogue, these classes, there are some items you can farm with an effect similar to the Singing Crystal Axe, which is like this one. Where is it? The Blade Fist. Chance on hit increases your haste by 113 for 10 seconds. It is item level 140, it does scale down, but it's perfect. Like, classes like Enhancement Shaman can use this fist weapon alongside with the... Where is that one? Where is the other one? Blackout Truncheon, which also has a similar effect. So you get double the haste and blast them. And this effect is also up like 80% of the fight. It's insane. These are insane items you can use. And ever since the scaling messed up, this is the good side of things. You don't have to do chroma time to get these on the item level you want. You can just solo this. Solo farm it till you get it. And believe me, the items I'm telling you do have a huge impact. Like huge impact. Alright. So we get to the, not the last, but the most interesting part. Trinkets. So we have like a good 10 trinkets we can use for these right now, which are all decent, some of them better than the others. But I'm gonna mention you all of them. Not but. I'm gonna mention you all of them. Alright. So we have number 1, the first sigil. This one has 5 minutes cooldown, but it's an insanely strong unused trinket. If you farm good gear and want to blast the challenge in like 2 minutes and just finish it. Like, I used this combo to finish the Unholy Dead Knight challenge in 1 minute. That's what I used. I always use the first sigil with combo of Armored Elekk Tusk. The Armored Elekk Tusk does not share a cooldown with other trinkets, so you can use the first sigil and the Armored Elekk Tusk for an even higher burst. So I always used to like make a macro with the first sigil, Armored Elekk Tusk, and my battle potion, and you would get like a decent 50% extra damage out of your character. while using this tree. Insane high burst. If you got good gear and you think you can beat this challenge fast, like for the twins challenge, where you get this small window of time where you have to do as much damage as you want, this combo is probably the best. So you get Karam down, Rise becomes active, you just pop everything you have, pop two trinkets, pop potion, boom, boom, boom. And the boss is gonna get like 80% of the HP is gonna demolish. And the next phase you're gonna kill it. Easy. This is my suggestion for that challenge, or maybe Agatha, Imp Mother. If you know you got the burst, you know how to play the class, burst it down. That's how it's done. The next trinket, which is currently also bugged, Dark Moon Lake Radiance. This trinket does not get scaled down. Funny enough, you don't have to do 1.9 million damage to get it procced. It's gonna be like 5k damage you have to do. But you get the full 1400 to 2.8k stats, which is like all of your secondaries and your primary and your stamina together are not 2800 stats. And you might get this as a one secondary. If this trinket procs at the right time inside the challenge, this is gonna solo the challenge for you. The next trinket, which is probably one of the hardest to farm, one of the rarest to farm, is the chipped soul prism. This trinket gives you all secondary stats plus some primary stat and drops from a ward boss in Warlords of Draenor. Draenor Supreme Lord Kazakh. Here we go. This one right here. You can get 2 attempts of this, like one from the kill and one from the bonus roll from Doomlord Kazakh. I might make a video on how to farm this as well. But like I have had characters who got this on the first week I leveled them up, and I have had characters like my main hunter which had to farm this for a decent 64 weeks to get it. Like, I don't know, I can't really say if it's hard to get or not, but for me, for my main, it was really hard. It was one of the items I needed the longest time to farm. The next trinket is gonna be the Prophecy Tarot. If you did all of everything and you did not drop any of the wished items, this is probably your go-to item. It gives you all three, it gives you all secondary stats except for haste, and it's always a decent option for you to grab fast if you don't want to waste time farming. You can just buy this from the auction house, or if you have inscription for Legion, you can just craft it yourself. The mats cost like 200 gold or something. Nothing serious. We have 2 more trinkets that are quite decent for intellect users at least. Almost all of the trinkets I've mentioned so far are usable by all classes. So the first sigil we can use with all classes, Radiance we can use with all classes, Prophecy Tarot we can use with all classes, Chip Soul Prism we can use with all classes, and Armored Elekk you can also use with all classes. The easiest to get out of all of these is probably the Armored Elekk and the Dark Moon Radius combo. You can buy this from the edge, there is thousands of this. And Armored Elekk I've made a video on how to get it, and it takes you like 4 minutes. There is another trinket which is quite good right now, which is the Ghost Iron Dragon Link. There's going to be a lot of it in the edge. You want the one above item level of 120, even though it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what item level you grab because you're going to put gems in it anyway. The dragon on its own doesn't do shit, like the effect, but it's all about the sockets. You can add cogwheel sockets into this. I'm going to show you which sockets they are. Crit, and then there's going to be these items. Plus 31s. Here we go. These plus 31s require you to have Cataclysm Engineering on 75, which is max. If you don't have it on that specific character, ask an engineer to socket the items into the trinket and trade it to you afterwards. That works as well. Do we have any other trinket? We have one trinket for agility users and strength users, which drops from Gruul in Gruul's lair. We go to the Burning Cruiser, Gruul's lair. This is what I'm talking about. Dragon Spine Trophy. Quite decent trinket. Uh, like the haste is really good. It gives you like 180 haste, and the uptime is quite high as well. So this is also a good option. And everything else, all of the trinkets that used to be good, like Unblinking Gaze of Seath or the Seed Pot, do not come close to these trinkets I just mentioned. They are probably better than your everyday The War Within trinkets inside Magetower, but they do not come close to the trinkets I just mentioned. These trinkets currently are just way too strong. They're insanely strong. So, for all the other pieces of gear, if you run Sunwell and manage to somehow drop some good pieces with 3 sockets, 2 sockets, use them. If not, open the auction house, type in level 0 to 56, go to your desired armor piece, and look for a socketed item here. It's gonna usually cost you a few hundred gold, and it's not gonna waste your time as much as it does like farming 100 dungeons. There are better items in the dungeons, but it's not necessary for you to farm them. You can easily take some gold into your hands. Who doesn't have 5k gold in their bag? Like one full set of gear might cost you less than 5k, 10k gold, which is nothing these days. Like there are ward quests rewarding 1000 gold for doing it once. Do it on your 5 characters and you're gonna have 5k gold. It's nothing. Like making 1000 gold is much easier these days than make like running 5 raids for 1 item slot. Run Sunwell, see if it drops, it drops. If not, purchase the other item slots. That's what I suggest. And a lot of people have been mentioning, hey, I see when I go over the item, it says it has a socket, but when I buy it, it doesn't have a socket. How can I make this to not happen? So I have mentioned this in a few videos before, so I'm gonna explain it thoroughly now. When you hover over an item, let's say this item, it says it has a prismatic socket, but it does not. This picture is just showing you that this item could potentially have a socket. So we are not sure that the items currently in the auction house have a socket, but it could. We're gonna click on it. If there is no prismatic socket icon in this area right here, none of these items have a socket. And you can see when you hover over them, they do not possess a socket. We are gonna go back, we're gonna click on the next one. Doesn't have a socket either. We're gonna go down, no socket. We're gonna go another one, no socket. There is no guarantee that you always find one with a socket, but there are usually at least one. So let's see. This item could have a socket, yes. We're gonna click on it. Could this one have one? Yes. This one could also, but it doesn't. This one doesn't have it. This one doesn't have it. Like I have said, like you have to imagine there are thousands of people looking for socketed items for Magetower right now, because like we have grown more than I expected. There are more people taking my advice than I ever thought it would happen. So, like I've realized it's a real struggle now to find socketed items because they're just all gone. But we're just gonna keep looking. We might find one. Oh, there's a ton of items here now. Mm, come on, bro. Jesus. Oh, there is enough. Oh, there is hope. There's a ton of items here. Come on, don't disappoint me. There we go. There you go. This is how it's supposed to look if the item has a socket on it. there has to be this icon right here, or if you buy it, it's not gonna come with a socket. And that's what I mean. And then you're gonna buy this, it's gonna have a socket, and you're gonna put the socket in. Ta-da! Easy as that. But like, let's like even this. There's probably two socketed heads in this instance, right? Let's see Sumble. Is there any headpiece here? No, no, not a single headpiece. That's mad. Like, look at three socket leg. That's insane. Three socket leg, another one. Three socket staff. Two socket shoulder. Decent. Three socket chest pieces. Insane. Two socket hands. Oh, head. There we go. There's head pieces from last boss. Two of them as well. Which are strong. They look really strong. Stat wise. But yeah. That's the gearing advice I would give you if you want to complete all of the mage towers. So we have talked about consumables, we have talked about the neck piece, we have talked about the weapon, we have talked about every single piece of gear, we have talked about the rings, we have talked about the trinkets. Now mechanics wise, I have posted every single spec at least twice. Like, even if you look at my old videos, I show you how to do it like mechanical wise. There might be different talent builds, there might be, and like your damage might be different. But you can use those videos for mechanics, or just comment what spec you want to have done, and I will do it within, I'm not gonna say 2 days, I'm gonna say 5 days. Like if you say, hey, Fluffy, can you do Arms Warrior for us? If I find the time, I will do it the same day. If I'm like, can manage real life and this perfectly, I will post the video on the same day. If not, I will do my best to do it within a week. Within 5 days. But it's never gonna take 5 days. It's usually 2 to 3 days. But I'm gonna say 5 days so that I don't become a liar. But yeah. That's pretty much it. You just do this. You grab old enchants, put them onto your items. You grab old gems. Like the value, there is two type of gems you can use. You can do the plus 23 secondary gems, or you can use these gems right here. The Brilliant Queen's Garnet. These are more pricey. These cost like 2k a piece, 1k a piece. This, I would not suggest this. And 23 secondary stats usually have more value than 8 primary stats. At this current state of the game, I could swear on it that like almost every single class gains more value from plus 23 than plus 8 primary. Use these gems, these cost like 30 gold a piece. It's nothing. It's a joke. But yeah, that's how it's done. Believe me, take my advice. Get proper gear. It's gonna be worth it. Because if you go in without proper gear, without proper consumables, you are gonna waste your time much more than you would waste your time farming gear. I'm seeing people having hundreds of attempts on these fights and still struggling because they just too stubborn to go and farm gear or buy gear, like, and spend some gold or like spend 1 hour of gear farm. But believe me, it's worth it. The fight without gear and the fight with gear is like the difference between looking for raid and mythic raiding. I'm telling you, I have done this without gear and with gear. I'm telling you, doing this with gear is gonna make your life much easier. And if you keep doing this 120 times, you want to shove your head through the monitor because you're gonna lose focus eventually and you're gonna fail to stuff that the mechanics that you're not even gonna see if you have gear. Like, let's say the demonology challenge, the Sigrin challenge. The more the fight goes on, you're gonna get such overlaps that you, like, if you get bad RNG during those overlaps, it's done. You're not gonna finish the challenge. You're gonna go out and come back in. But if you farm gear, you are not gonna even come close to those. You're gonna kill the boss long before the challenge even gets to those overlaps. But yeah, I am gonna make a Mage Tower gearing guide channel in the Discord. Make sure to join it. I'm gonna post these items on there. I'm gonna make sheets. I'm working a lot to make sure you guys all get your get your challenges done. Blizzard doesn't seem to care. I do. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you take my advice and get all of your challenges done. And that's it for today's video. Thank you for tuning in and peace out.